Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Equity Guys pre-market video. My name is Chirag, and I'm certified technical analyst. And let's get to the view for today. So, looking at what happened yesterday in Nifty made an A-shaped market, and there was, an inverted hammer being formed on the daily time frame, not able to close below the hammer high, so that we could see, much more movement on the next days ahead. But let's see what will happen in today's market. So looking at Nifty futures and Bank Nifty futures, both are trading at a premium of 119 and 313 points respectively. So both bullish in nature over there. Coming over to India VIX is up 0.53%, which is definitely bearish in nature. You see it, but overall levels are at 10.84, which is pretty bullish in nature on an overall perspective. There's slight bearishness kicking in India VIX. Looking at crude oil also up 0.81%. So for an intraday perspective, it is bearish, but then overall levels are still bullish because we're trading below 6,500 levels. Looking at gold bees and silver bees, gold bees is up 1.47% and silver bees is also up almost 1%. So looking at this, we can assume that there are some hedge positions taken in gold and silver bees compared to the market here. Finally, moving on towards GIF Nifty, we can see a slight gap up of 35 points. So let's see if that gap up is gonna, sustain, or are we gonna, move down from the gap up. Looking at industries, we do see IT is down here, but auto and bankex and industrials are all up here. So overall, the data is bullish here. IT should make some sort of recovery, and then we can see a further move on the upside once that also makes a recovery here. All the major sectors would have been on the positive side, so that would be bullish over there. But currently, data is still bullish on the sector side of things. Moving over to the advances and declines, you see 1,750 advances with 1,284 declines. So that basically means that we are having a bullish sentiment here because we have more advances, more stocks closing towards the day high than towards the day lows here. Moving over to the FII DII data, FIIs are still selling in the cash market. It's not at all good. DII is doing their usual thing of buying when the FIIs are selling here. So they're the only ones keeping the markets from not crashing the way it's supposed to crash, because they are investing huge amounts of money every day when the FIIs are selling. Moving over to the FNO segment, index futures, we do see 9,000 crores of buying here, whereas in stock futures also we see good amount of buying here of 1,262. So from a long term perspective, we do not have good data in the cash market, but in the FNO perspective and the intraday perspective, we can expect a long we can expect bullish data coming from there. So looking at the advanced decline ratios, we have 29 advances and 21 declines in Nifty 50, and in Bank Nifty we have 11 advances and only one decline. So extremely bullish data here when it comes to the advanced decline ratio. Finally, moving over to the option chain is bullish in nature, as you can see here. If you look on the left side, the calls, there is buying in the money but selling it out of the money, and on the right side in the puts, there is selling both in and out of the money here. So keeping that in mind, 24,750 is a key level to watch out for. Good amount of volumes here. It can come take support there and possibly move up. So there's a gap up, possibly come take support at 24,750 and then move up is also a good possibility. So keep that marked on your charts. Looking at the major indices now, we see the United States all up and all positive, 0.45% in Nasdaq, 0.21% in S&P, and 0.25 in Dow Jones here. Moving on to Europe, DAX, FTSE, and CAC all up 0.89, 0.14, and 0.78% respectively. So both bullish data both in Europe and in the US. Coming over to the Asian markets, Nikkei is running at 0.63% positive and Kospi running at 0.5% positive. So all the global data is looking extremely bullish in nature. Looking at the Nikkei chart, in the Nikkei chart, we also do see a gap up, and then we see a move on the upside, and then later on we do see a sort of A-shaped market formation in Nikkei here. So let's see if that's the same case in the Indian market. We also have a gap up, but I do feel like we will see a breakout in the first half, so we have to see, it being a market on the upside here. Moving on to Indian ADRs looking extremely positive. Only Dr. Reddy's and Make My Trip are seeing a little bit of selling here, but you have HDFC, ICICI, Wipro, and Infosys all seeing good amount of buying. So extremely positive data when it comes to Indian ADRs here. Moving over to the futures market. Futures market is pretty neutral except for US 500, which is slightly on the positive side. But again, for the most part, everything's quite neutral in US 30, US 500, and US Tech 100 here. So let's move on to the view for the day. So one thing we have to keep in mind is PCR is coming down to 0.88 from that overbought region. So we are getting to the oversold region. Currently we are neutral. We need to get to around zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.5 or below in order to kind of see in that oversold range, so we can get that A shape sort of recovery. But till then, looking at how Nikkei was opening, I think we have to again keep 24 um, you know 24,751, which is exactly what we said in the option chain 2 as a major sort of support. We cannot close below this. Could be a neutral day, but I do feel like the first half should be a buy on dip type of market. Eventually in the second half it could change and it could become sell on rise. So that is one thing that we have to kind of keep in mind. We do see that we are making kind of higher and higher formations here. It is just that we need to kind of close above this one 24,500 level, and then we can see extremely good moves there, right? So that's the only thing there. All the other gaps and stuff we have filled. We broke this inverted hammer low here, so let's see till where we can go here. In the charts. So overall, I do feel initially it will be a buy on dip, and then later it will be a sell on rise type of market. So keeping that in mind, make sure you guys only trade one index and one time frame. Don't trade the view. Go ahead and only trade your setup, and make sure you guys are not trading your emotions at all. So thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow for the next video.